Welcome to this SOCSoter Unfiltered podcast with your host, Melissa Kaiser. Now let's get started with the show.
Hey, Melissa Kaiser here, host of SOCSoter Unfiltered podcast. Today we have Angie Broadwater, who is our SOC manager here at SOCSoter. So welcome to the show. Before we dive in, we're going to have a little word from our sponsor. This episode is brought to you by SOCSoter. SOCSoter provides a custom cybersecurity platform with multi-layer defense and an MDR Plus platform designed for small and mid-sized businesses. What does this mean for real outcomes? It ensures that SOCSoter provides a complete picture of potential threats to client systems that may go unnoticed for months. The differentiate points are SOCSoter is 100% US-based, led by military cybersecurity veterans who understand compliance requirements, coupled with a capacity to adapt and grow as a business to meet customer needs. If you want a strategy that is backed by 24/7 human-driven SOC monitoring, this customized security stack maximizes protection while reducing workloads, ensuring you stay secure and compliant. For more information, visit SOCSoter.com to learn more. So, welcome, Angie. Thanks for being on our show today. Thanks for working overtime because I know you have start off early at 5 a.m. So, just if you could just tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got here, what was your journey looking like, and I'll just be interested to hear what you have to say.
Thank you for having me, Melissa. So it's Angie here, SOC manager. I actually started about 2.5, going on 3 years ago as a SOC analyst and also operational admin of the SOC. But now I'm a SOC manager. So what I do is I lead a team of SOC analysts to monitor, detect, and also respond to threats in a 24/7 SOC. So there's always something going on. It's an industry where you're never going to be bored because there's always something to do. So we do a lot of investigations.
And you probably can't get to all of it either because there's just so much.
Absolutely. There's always stuff going on. Yeah.
Yeah, because I like to say it's like you're looking for a needle in a haystack where there might not be a needle.
Correct.
So that's a challenge. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes. So I actually got into cyber because I was in the spa industry for many years, and whenever COVID hit, whenever COVID hit, though, spas had to shut down. So I decided to go back to school, get my MBA, and I also decided to start studying cybersecurity. So while I was at West Virginia University, I had the opportunity to be a member of Cyber WVU, which is an organization they offer for students, and also women in cybersecurity. So I was a part of both of those organizations. And I was able to actually participate in the NATO Locked Shields event, which was really nice because they had pen testers from aerospace there. They had the Department of Defense, they had CISA, the National Guard, and then other, fellow students at WVU as well that were in cybersecurity. So I had a lot of hands-on experience working with like live action kind of like cyber warfare. And it felt
I have
so
a question
real.
though. I do have a question. It seems kind of weird. It's like spa and cybersecurity. Now, I know they seem to go hand in hand. I'm joking. Not at all.
They balance each other out, right?
Yeah, I guess they do. I guess you get a massage at the end of the day if you're old, like, hey, it's Angie. Can I come in and have a stressful day? I'm like, yeah, come on in, girl. Let's get you something. Yeah, that just seems weird. I mean, because spa and cybersecurity, I mean, what was your mentality to switch?
Yes. So my husband actually works in cybersecurity. So while I was home, when the spa was closed, he was still working remote and doing great. So, and he started in cybersecurity at age 16 as a cable installer, and he's worked his way up. Now he's a cybersecurity architect. I just feel like, it's such a great, career industry to be a part of. It's ever changing. There's always something new to learn. And so I was able to go to some Cisco live events, which is where I actually got my first certification. I got the Cisco Cyber Ops Associate certification at Cisco Live, and they changed the name of it. It's now CCNA Network certified. But yeah, that was my first certification. And then while I was at WVU, I also decided to study the EC Council Certified Ethical Hacker, passed it on my first shot with, great scores. And then with one of my final exams, they offered to, you can take a certification. You have to pay to take it to attempt to, see if you pass or not for one of my networking classes. And I was able to pass the CompTIA Network Plus certification there too. So I did
So you
all
have
of that around the same time.
three certifications?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So,
All right. And you got that while you're pursuing your MBA? Or I'm
correct.
sorry, your master's?
Master's in business administration and cybersecurity. Yes.
I see. Okay. Okay. So that was probably remote, I'm assuming.
A lot of it was remote, but I did go up for all the cyber WVU, events that they had with the organization, and also like the Locked Shields thing. I did that for 2 years. So I did go in for a lot of hands-on stuff for that.
Okay. All right. So 2020 to 2022, is that the period that we're talking about?
I graduated in 2023. So yeah,
Oh,
so
okay.
it's like 21 to 23.
Okay. I'm very I know dates very, very well, and I have a very good memory. So I put everything in chronological order. So, which my husband hates, because I'm able to catch him in things. But okay, so we're up to 2023 right now, and then we're in 2026. So okay, so we're there we're at. Okay. So then you graduated.
And then I applied with SOCSoter, and here we are.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, because you live in the area. So if our customers don't know, we live in the Panhandle of Maryland. So where our corporate is like 5 miles from the Pennsylvania border, 5 miles from the West Virginia border, and about 100 miles from DC. So there's not a lot of tech companies in this area. And you live about 30 minutes away from
I actually
Hagerstown?
live in West Virginia. I'm about 40, 45 minutes away, depending on
Okay,
traffic.
okay.
Yeah. So it's still
Yeah,
pretty
so
close.
yeah. So it's wow, you have to get up really early in the morning. Okay, you must be a morning person. Okay, so then you started work here. You were an analyst, and then what have you seen? I mean, 2.5 years is a lot. It's like dog years or large dog years, right? So 1 year is like 7 years in most industries, I guess you could say. So what have you seen really in have you seen any changes to the landscape?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
The biggest things I would say that I've noticed change-wise, as far as like bad actors go, they seem to use a lot of user agents with Axios now, which is affiliated with bot activity and scripting. So anytime we see that, it's 99.9% always bad. So we look for red flags on the daily. Even though I'm SOC manager, I still help out with, the ticket queues to make sure everything is getting taken care of as it comes in and gets escalated as it needs to be. The other thing that I still help with is the vulnerability management. I do a lot with the hardware devices that we offer, and I also do the remote vulnerability scans where I connect through VPN and I'll scan your network and I'll give you reports on what the vulnerabilities are so you can update and patch those so you're not exploited by bad actors. So
Okay, I do have to stop you there because I do have a question, because what I see in my compliance realm is that we do a lot of vulnerability scans, which is good, but what's even better is if you remediate those vulnerability scans. And that's what I don't see a lot happening. Now, are you seeing a lot happening to that?
Well, each month for most of these scans, you'll see the differences. So you can tell who's doing it and who's not. So
Okay,
that is
so
one of the
spill
things.
the tea. Spill the tea. What's the percentage that is not doing it versus that
I
are?
feel like more are than not.
Oh,
but
really?
those
Oh,
of you who are not doing that, listen
You
up and
need
go
to
take
do
care of
that.
those right now.
Yeah, for sure. Yes, yes, that's key. Just identify them is one thing, but it's really better to just remediate or mitigate or whatever. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay. All right, sorry to interrupt you. So you do a lot of the vulnerability stuff, and you probably do you field a lot of phone calls?
We do, yes. We get phone
Okay.
calls, we get emails. So lots of communication, which is important. So anytime,
What,
customers need us, they can call in or email. Yes.
okay, so one question. What habits make a good customer? Like, like who are your good customers? What would you classify as a good customer?
The
I
ones
mean, one, of
that
course, that doesn't
communicate
bother you.
the
I mean, that's a
most.
good customer. We do know
Right, right.
that. But
Honestly, it is the ones who like reach out the most because it shows that they care about the security of their
yeah,
company and, they care about their users and protecting them. So, yeah, the ones that call in and contact us the most is definitely, the ones that it shows that they care the most.
yeah, yeah. Because, I find the people that don't communicate are usually they don't care. They're not paying attention, and they need
Exactly.
to, because this is a relationship. And just because we send you alerts means that you should probably look into them. Or if you don't know, just ask the question, because that's really what we're here for, right? We want to make
Exactly.
sure
Team
that
helping team.
yes, yes. So please contact us. I tell all my customers is like, please, I mean, I know you probably were like, oh, this guy's really annoying.
But
But
that's what we want to see. It really
yeah,
is.
we want them to understand it. And then if they understand it and you teach them, then, teach them how to fish. And then they
Mhm.
can train other people and say, oh, this is how you do it. Because I think a lot of our customers are IT people. They're not security people. So they
Right.
don't really understand some things. So if you can help them out and say, like, this is bad because of blah, 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 they might have that aha moment, and like, it's just not a service that they're just reselling. They're actually helping their customers. So yeah. So I
Exactly.
do like that. Yep. I do like that. Okay. Okay, sorry. I just totally
Oh, you're fine.
told you to go in a different direction. Okay. All right. So, okay, so you do that and then you get in the queue, which is good, because if you're not in the queue, then you probably get a little rusty, right? So, how many tickets come in a day?
Depends on the day, because we have different queues. We have, priority
Mm,
queues, general queues, maintenance queues, so and help queues, just depends. Yeah, it can be between hundreds to thousands. No
mm.
kidding. So
So different days of the week produce, so like
different
what's the highest?
activity. It just depends on what's being generated and what kind of
Okay.
activity there is.
So if it's like Patch Tuesday, do you get more,
Honestly, I feel
less?
like weekends is more of the maintenance downtime for most companies. So if they're doing maintenance,
Oh,
they do it on the weekend. So if anything goes idle, usually it's, during that time frame if they're
that
doing
makes
any kind
sense.
of, yes.
Okay. All right. So sorry, I got you off track. What else is interesting to you that you would like to share?
Well, some of the ways we do stay up to date with the most recent threats, we do, a lot of continuous threat intelligence. So our threat intelligence is real-time data of threats and vulnerabilities. So this keeps you up to date on current threats and what attackers are doing. So, and we also, as a team, will have mandatory individualized training as well as team training to stay on top of everything because, like I said, cybersecurity is ever changing. So there's always something new going on. The big thing right now, as far as like trends, is AI, right? And
Mhm.
so if you look
Everybody
into,
loves AI. Yeah. So yeah, I'm
yes,
glad you brought that up. So,
yes. If you look at any kind of cybersecurity news, though, most of them are saying that SOC analysts are automatically, if they're human, tier 2 because AI is tier 1 now. So I keep
oh, okay.
seeing that. Yeah, so I just wanted to bring that up as well.
I can't imagine AI being good as tier one. I don't know. What do
I
you
know I
think?
don't 100% agree with that, but I keep seeing that in different news articles.
Mm, that's interesting. So I guess all those tier two SOC analysts was like, I need a raise. Okay, that's interesting. So I would probably say that they're at tier half, maybe. I don't know.
Right. That's more what I was thinking as well. Yes.
Yeah, because I can't imagine. Yeah, okay. Wishful thinking, maybe. I don't know. Um, okay, so AI from a defense perspective. What about AI from a offense perspective about attacking?
It goes both ways, which is why it is important to have AI, within your SOC capabilities. So, some of the other things I wanted to bring up. So right now we do offer a variety of services, right? We do the endpoint protection, we do network SIMs, we do cloud SIMs, we do vulnerability management, like I mentioned. We offer professional services like penetration testing and then compliance, like you mentioned as well. But right now, some of the best things about our cloud monitoring is block protection, because if someone, logs in that's not supposed to be logging in, we can block them out. Say they're like logging in from a country they're not supposed to be logging in from. A big one is Nigeria. We have the capability to either have them automatically locked out through block protection, or if the right permissions are in place, we can, manually lock them out ourselves.
Okay.
And
can I ask a question with that? Did you just randomly select Nigeria, or is that what you
that's a
normally
big
say?
one. Another
Okay.
location that is sometimes, or like majority of the time can be bad, is Amsterdam, Netherlands. We see a lot
Oh.
of bad actors there too.
Interesting. Okay. And so as far as the block, are the SOC analysts blocking, or is it automatically blocking, or
It
is the
depends on the
customer asking?
permissions. Yeah, it depends on
Okay.
the permissions they have in place. And if they allow us to have the, right permissions to be able to do it, we can have it either automatically block. And if that doesn't, if those permissions are in place, then we manually block them out, which is
Okay.
kind of critical. And this is one of the things when it comes to communication and speed. These things are important, because if we can't lock out a user and we try to call, a customer or an MSP, and we can't get, through to their help desk, we can't get through to any of their POCs, say everyone's at lunch, right? That's more time that these bad actors are looking at your company's information. Could be financial, or things you don't want them to see. It could be exfiltrating. The last thing we want is for our company's data to be on the dark web, right?
Oh yeah. So I heard some of chatter about from the time they came in, from the time we kicked them out, it was like under 10 minutes or something crazy like that. And they managed to steal or take, it was like crazy amount of data. So that tells me that it's not a human being that's doing it. It's
automation, these bots. Yeah. So, like I said too, with it being, you have to be quick with this kind of stuff. It's better to give us the permissions, if you can, to be able to do that for you. It's better for us to call you and say, hey, this user's been locked out. Please update the credentials. Here's what's going on, instead of, hey, we've been trying to call you for an hour. This bad actor's now been in here, and they've probably seen so much information. So it comes down to locking them out fast. But honestly, prevention is also key. So doing, smart things as well to try to keep them out, keeping things updated and patched, right? So like we were talking about before.
So you're saying the block, and you're doing the block within Microsoft, right? That's what you're talking?
Correct, yes.
Okay. So, and we're seeing a lot of these types of attack with Microsoft because everybody uses Microsoft pretty much, right? So because the world uses Microsoft, the bad guys are writing code for Microsoft, which makes sense. Where am I going with this? So we do it for Microsoft a lot. So Microsoft is a big attack surface.
Now, one of the things I'll mention too with our EDRs, right, we can isolate a host. So if there's malware or something that gets, on a system, we can isolate that as well. So.
Okay. Do you have a hard time getting hold of people, like with a phone call?
It just depends on the company.
Ah, okay. The good ones answer their phones, the bad ones do not. Okay.
We can all improve, right? So.
Yeah. I really want some pizza. Yeah, so it really makes, so the companies who use us, they just have to have it baked into their procedures on working with a SOC.
Right. And also guiding their clients, right? So whenever we reach out to them and tell them what they need to let their clients know, they need to ensure that that's getting done and all the necessary procedures and protocols are taken care of. So
yeah, so That's interesting that you said something because a lot of times what I hear from the MSP side, because I work with MSPs and end customers, it's always good to have a third party come in and just reiterate what the IT company is already saying because sometimes they just don't believe the IT company, you know? And so sometimes it's good. Do you talk to the end customers a lot or is it mostly just the MSP?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
Mostly MSP, but it's a little bit of both.
Okay. Yeah, because sometimes I just feel like they just don't believe what the MSP is saying. And, I come in, it's like, well, yeah, yeah, because of blah, blah, blah. You don't want this to happen. And I know the MSP is like, yeah, see, I told you. Anyway. Okay, so that's good. So then you can do the block, you can block with the EDR.
Another thing
Um,
with the cloud that I want to mention, because this is one of the newest features that's now being offered, right? So there's a SOC digital twin now. So if you log in, if you have one of our cloud monitoring assets, you can log into your partner portal and connect through your cloud monitoring device, and it will take you to a actual SOC digital twin type of command center. So once you're there, you can click on each individual integration that you have. So it could be Microsoft, Sophos, Duo, whichever, LastPass, Salesforce. You click on each individual one and it's going to bring up another command center. So you're getting a really good like digital feed of almost like what, a SOC analyst would see.
yeah.
So
Yeah, I do like that. That's for me from compliance, it sees and it shows like where the assets are in the world.
right,
Um,
because it shows maps and
yeah.
visualization of the data, and it's from like a SOC's viewpoint, honestly. So
Yeah, I do like it because I'm like, you didn't tell me you have somebody in France,
yeah,
it's like, who was in Vegas last week, and I'm able to see that. And then when I log in, because sometimes they give me credentials, I'm like, it tells them like, yeah, see, I was actually working at this time when I, said I, when I gave you an invoice for my hours, you can actually see that in here. That's what I was doing at this time. So yeah, it really, and then, um, so since you're on here, there's also a section on there that says about VPN too, like who's on a VPN.
yes.
And I
So
know these VPNs are a thorn in everybody's side. So can you talk about VPN access into networks and why that can be um, potentially risky?
yeah, so one thing we do see a lot of is users logging in with VPNs. And so some of them aren't like business VPNs. They're just like free ones you can download off the internet, right? And they think they're protecting themselves and their company by using these VPNs. The
Mhm.
problem is that the bad actors are also using these same VPNs, right, to do
Yeah.
bad things and malicious activity. So, we'll catch, people logging in with 100% of use IPs that were reported for malicious activity multiple, like thousands of times. And so what they don't understand is they're known contested networks, these bad VPNs. And so, these bad actors could be intercepting the data being transmitted, which could show usernames and passwords, which you're
Mhm.
making it easier for them to, basically hack you. So.
So do you escalate when people use VPNs? Because I know it's really hard
Right,
um,
yes.
because we're
Mhm.
not clairvoyant. That's what I always like to tell our customers. We are not clairvoyant. We don't know what your policies are. We don't know anything unless you tell us. And even still, with thousands of customers, it's really hard for us to uh, dig down into that level. So, what do you think that we recommend to the customers? Don't use personal or private VPNs. Make sure you
Try to
use the
get the
customer.
business VPNs. It's going to cost more, but it's going to protect you and your company's data. So it's going to be worth it.
And
Yeah.
it's hard for you guys to catch as well, right?
Well, it kind of depends too. So,
Or
like if someone's
identify or
logging
detect.
in all of a sudden with VPNs that were reported for malicious activity, and then say they've never logged in with a VPN before, usually that's a red flag, right? So that's usually a compromise. If they've always used VPNs and they've always been abusive and we've sent tickets out about it and, oh, it's the user, they're just using a bad VPN. But like I said, though, it's really not a good idea because it's risky. It's a risk.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So noted, don't use private VPNs. It's hard for you guys to know like who's legit and who's not legit, right?
Yeah, we have to do a lot of digging into like the login logs per user to kind of narrow that down sometimes.
Yeah. And that takes some time to do.
Yeah, investigations and log review, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Sorry to interrupt.
Oh,
What else?
Let's see. Some of the things, like I know I mentioned, training internally with individualized training and also team training. Personally, I also like, even on my downtime when I'm out of the office, I like to watch podcasts. There's one actually called Super Cyber Fridays, and it's a CISO series with David Sparks. It's usually on Fridays. It's not every Friday, but I do tune into that. And if I can't watch it live, I'm going to watch the recording. So that's one of the ways I like to stay up to date with things. The Hacker News is another really good news, cybersecurity news article that I keep up to date with as well. And like I'm still a member of Women in Cybersecurity, which offers a lot of podcasts. So I do tune into a lot of those as well, and also their webinars that they offer. So one of the things too, I wanted to just make a few recommendations for users and companies alike. And this could be common knowledge that you're already doing. We already said, patch and update your vulnerabilities. Encourage your users to participate in phishing training for prevention, because a lot of people get phished, and these bad actors and spammers are getting really good, and scammers at, making these emails look legit. So
Yep.
also,
There's one that's going around for me, and people click on it, and it's like a super polite email, and then they'll say, Melissa, you sent. I'm like, I am not that polite. Why do you think it was me? I am not that nice on an email. And they're like, oh yeah, that's true. And like, so yeah, I mean, people, even us, we fall for stuff, even though we have the training and everything and our job, but sometimes it's just, I mean, I don't ever say kindly in my vocabulary at all, but the new ones fall for that. So they are getting good, and even professionals like fall for it as well, because sometimes it looks really good. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes, definitely. And then the other thing I want to recommend is backing up your backups to an off-site location. So you should have more than one backup system, like have one on site, but also have one off-site, just in case for like disasters, compromises. Nobody wants ransomware, but if your backups get encrypted, sometimes you even, pay a ransom and you don't get that decryption, right? So you always want to have a good backup of your data.
Yeah, because some of those guys who are encrypting it are just complete morons, and they don't know what they're doing, and they're not sophisticated. Those hackers are not sophisticated. They're just reading a manual, and they don't know how to like spell their name barely, So they don't really know what they're doing. So yeah, backups. And the interesting thing about backups is like, I do CMMC. CMMC doesn't require backups. But if they do, they require it especially in the cloud that you're talking about, you have to be in a GC or a FedRAMP moderate or FedRAMP high, and that is so incredibly expensive. But if you're not regulated through the DoD, then you're fine. But yeah, always back up. Cloud is a good way.
And some people think of like snapshots as backups, but honestly, those are more used for like rollback. Like if you're trying to do an update, you want to do a snapshot to be able to roll back to it if it fails or you run into issues. So an actual backup, that's what you need. And then also at an offsite location. The other recommendation, which this one's probably maybe the most beneficial for some, if you have admin accounts, do not make the password admin. So there you go.
You should not be an admin if that's your password.
Right?
It's like, God. Yeah. Or I think also if the I mean, this is a CIS benchmark, you're an Active Directory. I think you're given like administrator, that's a default. Just change the
Right.
user ID from the default as
Don't even
well.
keep it admin. Absolutely. Change it
Yeah.
and yes, make your
Or
passwords
guest,
complex.
yeah, just change both the username and the password. I mean, that's like duh, but yeah, that's stupid. Yeah, they shouldn't
But
be in
just a
that
good
job.
reminder. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yep. All right. What else you got? Anything else? Any other good tips
Let me
that
see
you
here.
see? I know you came prepared with your notes.
Just trying to make sure I covered everything I wanted to cover here. But
Okay.
honestly, it does come back, and everything kind of comes back down to communication. Don't feel, like you can't reach out to the SOC, either calling, email, through a ticket. If you try to call us and you can't get through, there's a possibility we might be on the other line with someone else. That's, sometimes things get heavy. We get a lot of tickets. We have a lot of stuff going on. So sometimes, if there's something major going on, we might be sending out and working on a major security incident. So like if something happens where someone's getting blocked with conditional access, that ticket may not go out as fast as one that's like a major compromise or something, right?
That's good to know.
Um,
Yeah.
so I
Because
just
your
want to
focus is trying to protect the business, even if it
absolutely.
can wait. Yeah. Yeah. Because I think we have a service level obligation is to get tickets out within 4 hours. So if there's a high alert, you're working that first because
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah. And I think the other thing is too, is that I do know because I get emails and it's like the SOC's not picking up their phone. And I was just like, okay, so if you can't get through if something's super important, just email somebody else from the SOCSoter and
Yeah,
we'll
just get
we'll
all
be
the
up.
information in an email and we'll get back to you that way. And then from
Yeah. Or I'll
as
teams you,
well.
it's like, hey, is somebody around right now that can talk? And I would get like, hey, we're working on a high. I'm like, okay, I'll
Sometimes there's major fires and it's like all hands on deck depending on the
yeah.
situation.
And
Absolutely.
yeah, and I think that's good to know because it's like, this could really, really adversely affect a company and maybe your password's not working on the portal. That's not that important, I understand, but I think you would appreciate if this was your company and the SOC was all hands on deck for you. I think you would
Absolutely.
appreciate that we got, about 5 people involved trying to help you out. So um, but yeah, no, that's good. That's really good information. So, quick question, before we wrap this up, because I'm in compliance. What's your take on compliance?
I feel like it
Yay
is
or
important.
nay or
Yay, definitely yay.
yay? Because sometimes I feel like I talk to my customers, I'm like, okay, you have security and then you have compliance. And I was actually just on the phone before you guys with a C3PAO, and they're talking about their auditor saying like, look, you have compliance and you have security. We're going to assess versus compliance because compliance isn't always secure. Sometimes it's just checking the blocks, but it does help you protect your network. Not
Absolutely. I feel like they
100%.
also kind of go hand in hand these days, honestly. So
Yeah, I mean, we try. I mean, some things are about compliance, like I really hate this control. It's really dumb because it really doesn't do anything. Um, but we have to do it. But on the other, it's like MFA, Cyber Awareness Challenge, monitor your logs, all those are really good things. So, okay. Because some people's like, I hate compliance, it's really dumb and it's really boring. And it's like, yep, I gotcha. But do you want to continue to have a business? Yes?
exactly.
Okay, we got to do this. Okay. Well, I appreciate your time today, Angie. Thanks for coming on. I really appreciate it. I'm glad we're both wearing green
I know, me
and we were like
too.
this.
Thank you for
So
having me.
anyway,
It's been fun.
thank you. Yes, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you for tuning in to the SOCSoter Unfiltered podcast. Be sure to check out other episodes and subscribe so you don't miss out on great conversations.